Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be talking about government announces free food grains in the year 2023. It means that the new year has just begun and in the new year the government of India has given a good news to the people of the country that the free food grains will be given to them. And now we will be looking at the status of National Food Security Act 2013 and the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. So first let us look at the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at the news, then what is the status of National Food Security Act 2013, then about the food security law presently, then about the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, and what is the financial burden on the government. In the end, a prelims MCQ and a means practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is government policies. You should be able to know about the National Food Security Act and the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana so that you can write it as examples in your mains answer writing. So before moving forward, you should know that in the history of Drishti IAS, it is for the first time that we have come up with a 50% discount on the occasion of the new year. So anyone who wants to avail for online pen drive courses or test series can go on the Drishti Learning app or can even call on this number to know more about the course. So let's get started and see the news, and the news has been taken from the Indian Express and it says government announces free food grains in 2023, but what's the economics and politics underlying the promise? So we will be leaving this point of politics, we will not be discussing this, but what we will be focusing on is the concept or the topic of free food grains and the economics behind it. Whether it is putting extra pressure on the government exchequer or not, or what is the history of it, how things are going on and how things had been in the past. So what is the meaning of free food grains? Free food grains means that you do not have to pay much for them. It does not mean that you will absolutely get it for ₹0. Few articles you can get, but not everything. So it means when you get something at a very minimal or a very basic price like ₹1, ₹2, ₹3, then that is almost like free food grains. So that is what is the concept of free food grains, because majority of the population in our country at the time of COVID was not able to afford the basic amenities or the basic food articles. So that is what the government did at the time of the COVID, that they introduced the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana for the people who were not able to buy themselves basic amenities and were not able to survive and even do not have the capacity or the capability to even afford themselves some basic food articles to eat. So let's look at why is it in news. So recently what has happened is the government would provide free food grains in the year 2023, and who all will be the eligible beneficiaries are the same people who are under the National Food Security Act, which came into existence in 2013. So what has happened is the 2023 year the government will be giving the free food grains. They have announced this, that they will be doing the free food grains to the people. So, and the eligible beneficiaries means who all are the people who will be getting these free food grains. So these are the people who are exactly the same as under the National Food Security Act. So all the people who were beneficiaries in the National Food Security Act are the same people who will be the beneficiaries for getting free food grains. Then the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana has been discontinued. So this is what is the main point. So this free food grain point of 2023 the government has said because the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana has been discontinued. So the government thought of getting something on the course of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, so that all the people who are not able to afford basic amenities or basic food articles should be getting something or the other to eat, and they should be able to at least have a dignified food habit. And the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana was launched in April 2020 as the pandemic relief measure, because during the COVID times, as people were losing their jobs, there was unemployment, there was price rise, people were not able to have enough commodities to lead out their life, and all the physical work which was open could not take place properly. So people could not even afford basic amenities. And what happened in the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana was 5 kg of free food grain. 5 kg of free food grain was given to NFSA beneficiaries. So in this also the beneficiaries was same as the National Food Security Act. And this 5 kg of food grain which was provided in the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana was in addition to their monthly entitlement. It means whatever monthly entitlement they were getting earlier, this 5 kg of free food grain was an addition. It is not that the earlier monthly entitlement was suspended and only the 5 kg of food grains was given for free. No, this did not take place, and this was in an addition to the monthly entitlement, and the monthly entitlement was 35 kg to an Antyodaya household and 5 kg per person in a priority household. So this was what the case was with the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Now let's talk about the food security law which is presently going on, and it is the National Food Security Act which came into existence in the year 2013. And this National Food Security Act provides 67% of households, which is 50% urban and 75% rural in India. So you can imagine the amount of people or the frequency of people that the National Food Security Act covers. It means you can imagine that if it is covering 67% of the households, so how big a scheme or how big an act it is. And this 67% household is 50% urban and 75% rural. It means majority of the people are covered under the National Food Security Act. So it is very important for the rural people. So what happens inside the NFSA? So what happens is, the objective is to provide food and nutritional security in a human life cycle approach. Important word is food and nutritional security. And then ensuring access to adequate quantities of quality food at affordable prices to people to live a life with dignity. So the important words in here are, first is quality food, because what happens is many a times people get food, but that food does not have the desired quality or is of very substandard type. People should try to stay away from a substandard type of food, because what happens when you keep on having the lower quality of food or food which is of very low quality and does not have proper food standards, so what happens is, in a prolonged period of time, this is what causes damage, and this is what is harmful for your health. And then affordable prices. Affordability is a major problem in our country, so we need to see whether people can actually buy it or not. Then the subsidized grains under the targeted public distribution system. So the food which is given to people under the National Food Security Act is through the TPDS, which is Targeted Public Distribution System. So public distribution system is a type of system in which the food grains are kept at a shop, and all the people who are subscribers to it, or I can say all the people who are eligible to get food under the National Food Security Act comes to that place or comes to that shop, and they get their food at a very minimal cost. Then about 81.35 crore people around the country are covered under the NFSA. So you can imagine that out of around 130 or 140 crore people that we have, 81 crore around people are covered under the National Food Security Act. So this tells us that the coverage of the NFSA is so huge that more than 60% of the country is covered under it. Then the eligibility is priority households to be covered under TPDS, which is Targeted Public Distribution System, according to guidelines by the state government. It means the state government has given guidelines that all the people which are covered under the TPDS, the priority households, they will be getting the food grains. Then households covered under existing Antyodaya Anna Yojana also are the people who will be eligible for it. Now, what are the provisions under NFSA? What are the things that are given to people, and why is it that this is such a successful scheme or an act? So, what happens is 5 kgs of food grains per person per month. Important point is, first is 5 kgs, that is fine, but it is per person. So, the examiner can trick you by saying that instead of writing per person, they can write per family. So you have to be careful that this 5 kg is for per person per month at rupees 3 to 1. So for rupees 3 you get rice, rupees 2 you get wheat, and for rupees 1 you get coarse grains. So it means it is not exactly for free, but it is at a very minimal and an affordable cost. That 5 kgs of food grains per person per month, rupees 3 rice, rupees 2 wheat, rupees 1 coarse grains. So you can also know about that what exactly are the articles which are given under the NFSA. So that is rice, wheat and coarse grains. Then the existing Antyodaya Anna Yojana household will continue to receive 35 kgs of food grains per household per month. So already the people who are covered under the Antyodaya Anna Yojana, they will keep on receiving whatever they are told to receive. Then the meal and maternity benefit of not less than rupees 6,000 to pregnant women and lactating mothers during pregnancy. So it means it is also giving benefit to the pregnant women during their time of pregnancy and 6 months after the child birth. So something this provides very big relief to the people who, to the females or to the women who are under pregnancy, that it gives relief to them, that they can actually relax at their time, that they will be receiving some amount or the food grains under the NFSA. Then meals for children up to 14 years of age, so that people, so that the children who are present below the age of 14 years can actually go to school and focus on their education. Then food security allowance to beneficiaries in case of non-supply of entitled food grains or meals. So if a person does not receive or is not receiving all the benefits of the NFSA, then this will also be given food security allowance. Then setting up of grievance redressal mechanism at the district and state level. This is a very important point, because many a times what happens is that the act or the scheme is launched, but the grievance redressal system does not work well, and people does not know where to go and complain if they are not being treated properly or if they are not receiving their food grains. So NFSA has done an exceptional job in this, that they have launched or they have set up a grievance redressal system at the level of district and also at the level of state. Then comes the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, that is PMGKAY. So this was launched at the time of COVID-19, when people were losing their job and inflation was happening, people were unemployed, physical outdoor activities was not allowed, people did not have the money in their pocket to even support their basic living. So at that point of time, the government launched the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, so that people at least have the food to eat. Then PMGKAY is part of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package to help the poor fight the battle against the COVID. And the scheme aimed at providing each person who is covered under the National Food Security Act 2013 with an additional 5 kg grains, wheat or rice for free. So under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, it was for free, while under the NFSA it was for rupees 3, 2 and 1. So this is one of the major difference. You need to know that under the PMGKAY it is for free, while under the NFSA it was for rupees 3, rupees 2 and rupees 1, and that was done through the targeted public distribution system. Then initially announced for a 3-month period, that was 2020, covering 80 crore ration card holders, but later it was extended. So what happened was, initially when there was lockdown, then government announced it only for 3 months, but seeing the severity of the situation during the COVID-19 or the pandemic, the government later extended it. But now this has been discontinued, and that is why the government is planning to launch the free food grains in the year 2023. And the nodal ministry for the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana is the Ministry of Finance. Knowing about the ministry is important, because this can be asked, that you should be able to know which ministry is handling it. It is Ministry of Finance. Now let us talk about the financial burden on government, that whenever the government talks about giving free food grains to the people of the country, then what happens after it, or what is the situation, or what is the economics that goes on around it. Then the economic cost has 4 main components. So whenever a scheme is announced which is for free, so what all are the economic components of it? So first is the pooled cost of grain, then procurement incidentals, then acquisition cost, and then distribution cost. So what happened is, you should be able to know that when the food grains will be distributed, then what is the cost that will be incurred here. Acquisition cost, when the government will be buying the food grains and from whom they will be buying it. Also the procurement incidentals including in it. Then the pooled cost of the grain, what is the total cost of the grain that they will be buying. So the government need to look into all these aspects and see how things work. Then, and this cost has increased over the years because the population of the country is also increasing, and also the inflation factor if taken into consideration. Then one example is that the economic cost of rice, if we talk about rice, then its economic cost has increased from rupees 2615 per quintal in 2013-14 to rupees 3104 in 16-17 to 3670 in the current fiscal year. So the cost of rice in 2013-14 was 2615, but at this point of time presently it is 3670. So it means the cost of the food grain is also increasing. Then comes the cost of wheat. So one more example is, if we take into consideration the cost of wheat, then this has increased from rupees 1908 per quintal in 2013-14 to the present scenario, which is rupees 2588. So what happens, if you see that if the cost of food grain is increasing, then the cost of all these 4 major components will also increase. And with this increase, what is happening is the burden on the government exchequer will increase, and more number of people if will be covered under this scheme, then the cost of going away from the exchequer, or the amount that will be going away from the government exchequer, will also be increasing. So this is what puts a great burden on the government pocket, that things needs to be taken into consideration, and then they also have to see that how the economics or how the receipts will come into the government's treasury, so that the government have the capacity to spend this much on free food grains. Now it's time for the prelims MCQ, and this is a UPSC PYQ. So this question has been asked by the UPSC. So try to see that how the UPSC is asking questions, and this is the concept or the points that you have to focus on. So this says that the National Food Security Act. So I'll just complete the statement, that consider the following statements regarding the National Food Security Act. And the statements are, first is, the families coming under the category of below poverty line only are eligible to receive subsidized grains. We have done this one. The eldest woman in a household of age 18 years or above shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issuance of a ration card. This is the second statement. And then third is the pregnant women and lactating mothers are entitled to a take home ration of 600 calories per day during pregnancy. We have also done this one. And the codes are 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 3 only. So you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and I can say that if you people will read the options carefully, then you people will be able to solve this question through elimination method also. The last aspect is the mains practice question, and this is also a UPSC previous year question, and this came in the year 2021, and this is a 10 marker, and this says what are the salient features of the National Food Security Act 2013. So this is like fine, you can do this one. Then how has the food security bill helped in eliminating hunger and malnutrition in India? So there are two parts in this question. You first have to identify that how many parts the question consists of. So till 2013 this is the first part, and after that is the second part. So what you have to do is, first you have to write about the salient features. So first write about what is National Food Security Act and then about its salient features. That's it. And then come on the part that how it is helping in eliminating hunger and malnutrition in India. So for this little bit you should be able to know about the situation of hunger and malnutrition in India. So try to solve the question and do your answer writing practice. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.